From winning Japan's first World Baseball Championship since 2009 to his next contract potentially hitting $500 million, this is how Shohei Ohtani's 2023 MVP season showed he's a once-in-a-lifetime talent. He got the year off to a roaring start, winning his country its first WBC title since 2009. Sure, Japan's indisputably the most successful team in the tournament's history, winning the first two championships in 2006 and 2009.
Team Japan has won the first World Baseball Classic.
But they've struggled to reach the same heights since then. They reached fourth place in 2013 and won the bronze medal in 2017. But their inability to reach the final made it seem like their glory days were over. That's when Ohtani came in and won them the championship almost single-handedly, ending the tournament as the MVP and becoming the first to do it as the starting pitcher and designated hitter. Mike Trout and Shohei have played together for years by this point, but during the highly anticipated final, Ohtani took him down with ruthless efficiency. It was one of the most hotly contested finals of all time, especially after the U.S. destroyed Puerto Rico 8-0 last time around, and when Mike Trout came to bat, Japan was already up by 1 run. He needed to pull off a miracle to win his team their second consecutive championship, but unfortunately, Ohtani pulled out all the stops to keep him at bay. Trout faced a flurry of fastballs during his last at-bat, with Ohtani showing an uncanny ability to maintain laser accuracy even while pitching at 100 miles an hour. Of course, he's nothing if not versatile, and he pulled back to deliver a slightly slower pitch to seal the deal. Japanese fans erupted in the stadium, his teammates lined up to embrace him, and Shohei stood like a mighty titan, soaking in the glory, and looking forward to the upcoming Major League season. Needless to say, he was only getting started. He broke record after record in 2023, starting on May 10th when he struck out Jeremy Pena. The game against the Houston Astros is one for the books, because it saw Ohtani getting his 502nd career strikeout. That meant he'd surpass the one and only Babe Ruth in the all-time strikeout rankings. But it also goes way beyond that. Scoring 100 home runs is a major achievement, one that Ohtani had no trouble accomplishing. But after this fateful game, he also has the highest number of pitching strikeouts for a player on that list. That just goes to show that he has a singular ability to dominate both aspects of the game, and the rest of the season cemented his place as an all-time great. He continued his fiery run throughout June, earning his 5th Player of the Week title in the process. That brought him on par with Seattle Mariners veteran Ichiro Suzuki, with no other Japanese player winning the award this many times. Hideo Nomo won about 4 Player of the Week titles while pitching for the Dodgers, as did Hideki Matsui of the New York Yankees, but Ohtani surged past them before he even hit 30. Now, if you think that's impressive, you should know he didn't stop there. On the 27th of June, Shohei hit 2 homers against the Chicago White Sox after getting 10 strikeouts. Only 5 other pitchers had managed that in history. So when the time came to select the Player of the Week, Ohtani was the only real contender, and his 6th title relegated Suzuki to 2nd place. As if that wasn't enough, Ohtani tucked a 7th Player of the Week title under his belt the next month. Miguel Cabrera and Manny Ramirez currently hold the title for most Player of the Week wins with 16 apiece. And with so many years left in his career, there's a good chance that Ohtani will equal them. He's already the best Japanese player the Major League has ever seen, so it's not a stretch to say he'll soon become the greatest of all time. Like, remember when people thought the Angels were looking to trade him? The team put the rumors to rest on July 27th, and Ohtani celebrated achieving his first complete game. He gave a total of 111 pitches against the Detroit Tigers, striking out 8 batters in the process and allowing just a single and 3 walks in the tightest display of precision pitching I've ever seen. Due to Shohei's uncompromising prowess, the Tigers suffered a 6-0 defeat in the first half of the doubleheader, and he topped it off with a 2-run homer in the second game. Rick Wise is the only other player who managed a home run and a 1-hit shutout on the same day, and he did it all the way back in 1971. The game's gotten a lot more competitive since then, so Ohtani's stunning performance is a clear indication that he's on his way to the top. Then again, something happened during the game that got fans worried. After dispatching a ball to the right center in the 4th inning, Shohei looked like he was in a lot of pain, forcing Nevin to bench him for the rest of the game, and folks started wildly speculating about what this could mean. After all, being your team's main hitter and pitcher ain't easy. It can take a real toll on your body, and sure enough, Shohei had to end his season early after tearing his elbow ligament. He'd just scored his 44th home run of the season against Cincinnati Reds, riding a high after completing his second grand slam just a few days ago. But all of a sudden, Nevin ended his start prematurely in the second innings. This was the second time that Shohei's elbow got the better of him in his career. He sprained it pretty badly in June 2018, and even though he was back on the field a month later, he had to get Tommy John surgery in September. It turns out that had damaged his UCL in the game and kept him off the mound till 2020. Things are looking way worse this time around because he straight up tore the ligament in the August game. That means another extended break from pitching, all while he was in the middle of a legendary run. Though he finished the season with 167 strikeouts, there's no telling what he could have accomplished if not for the injury. Of course, despite his fairy tale year ending a tad early, Shohei was still voted MVP. This marks the second time he's gotten the award, and get this, he got 100% of the vote each time. Just to put this into perspective, he's the first player in MLB history to be unanimously voted MVP twice. He narrowly missed out last year, so it's not quite the hat trick he would have hoped for. But something tells me he'd be pretty happy about it, all things considered. He's had a great run with the Angels over the past few years, but that time is now drawing to a close. They may have chosen to stick with him for the rest of the season, but come 2024, Shohei Ohtani is going to be a free agent. Now, the UCL tear means he won't be able to pitch till at least 2025. So how does this affect his prospects? Experts have been making crazy estimates about his next contract, with many agreeing it'll be worth $500 million or more. The most valuable contract in the MLB currently belongs to Mike Trout, and it's worth about $426 million. If all the rumors are true, it looks like Shohei's going to be rubbing salt in Trout's wounds after the World Championship defeat. However, these predictions were made before his elbow injury. Ohtani's main appeal comes from his ability to pitch and bat in the same games. So will teams be willing to pay as much for half of his skill set? I'd say the answer is a resounding yes. Look, Ohtani's been down and out before, and he followed it up with the stunning 2023 season I just described. Also, we're talking about a decade-long contract here, so it doesn't really matter how long he needs to rest his pitching arm, and anyone would be lucky to have him as a batter alone. Most teams are going to be thinking long-term about this. And besides, Ohtani doesn't even need to be on the field to earn tens of millions for his employers. By some estimates, he generated $70 million of revenue a year for the Angels from sponsorships alone. That's about $700 million over the next 10 years, and we haven't even talked about merch, tickets, and the massive ratings boost he brings. Now, my money's on Ohtani heading to New York Mets, because not many teams can afford a player of his stature, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. So, from the potential $500 million contract he's set to receive, to winning Japan its first World Championship since 2009, this was how Shohei Ohtani's 2023 season showed he's a once-in-a-lifetime talent.